includes
Nesse vídeo, você vai aprender.
Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to start a new session. It's about the JavaScript arrays. So why you use array? When you want to show list of data, then you can display all that your list of data with this array. Like I show you right now, I have already discussed about little bit before. So now I want to discuss about more about all that array. That means JavaScript, all that array related everything I will cover into this session. Okay, so that will be as a array. And now, like first of all, I want to take one of the variable as a friends. Okay, I name one of the variable name as a friends, and into this friends area, now you can actually add multiple array in here. Like I name it as a Kazi. Okay, Kazi, one of the friend name. Another friend name, I name it as a Aryan, and also I take another one as a Jackma. Okay, I'm using the same name a lot of the time. There is a Jack. Okay, Jackma. So I name it as a Jackma, and then I want to take another one. As a Raju. Okay, Raju. So that is, they have the list of data, right? They have the list of data. Now I simply declare with this array. So that is the array I have already taken it in our friends. So now I want to display it. So if you want to display it with the console log, that is a console log, and now I want to display our which things. I want to display our this array variable, right? Here I have already taken one of the variable. Now I want to print it. So now if you print it, click as a save all. Now if you go, now click as a refresh. Now you can see it's now successfully get all that our data. There is a Kazi, Aryan, Jackma, and then Raju. And here that is all that our value, right? That is array value. And into the left side they have also one of the index. That means this array index. And index is started from to the 0. As I told you before, that is a index will be started from to the 0, then the 1, then the 2, and then the 3. Okay, so right now if you want to get a specific some of the data, like I want to get that second data as a Aryan data. Okay, if you want to get it, then our index, what our index is the 1. Then you can actually get it by like that way. I have already shared that thing before. Right now I want to do there is a console log, and then our variable name, our variable as a friends, right? And into this friends they have also one of the which data you want to get. I want to get that index 1 data. That means I want to show that Aryan. So here only you have to do, you have to put your index data. Okay, just simply understand it that array is started from to the 0 index, and that is all that index number, and that is all that array value. Okay, so now I want to print our 1 value, that is 1 index data. Now that should be display our second one, that's a Aryan. Now click as a refresh. Now you can see it's now successfully display as a Aryan. And also if you want to get as a Raju, that means if you want to display that Raju, then our index data as a 3. Only you have to do simple work here. Only you have to use that index data 3 data. Okay, if you click as a save all, now that should be display. That should be display as a Raju. Okay, and if you want to display the 0 index, so then all you have to do that you have to add that as a 0. So that 0 index is our first index, right? I want to then save it, and then if you refresh, now you can see it's not display as a Kazi. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. And also if you want to get that length, okay, they have also another property as a length property, and also they have some of the method. Later we will use it a lot of the time, like there is a console, and then the console log, and into this console log area, there is a console log area. I want to that is our friends. Okay, that is our friends, that is our variable name, and into this variable when you click as a dot, and you can see that is all that method. Okay, that is all that method. Later we will use this method, and also they have some of the property, like as a length. Length is one of the property. Now I want to declare this property. So now with this length, it should be counting how many data you have. Like if you click as a save all, right now they have the 4 data. If you click as a refresh, now you can see it's now successfully display our total length as a 4. Okay, simply understand that part. Laterly everything will be needed. I hope you get some of the idea why you use that array and how array actually work. Okay, and also how can get that specific index data. I hope everything is very much clear to you. In our next video, I want to discuss about that adding elements. I hope you like it very much. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that array, right? Now in this video, I want to discuss about how can add some of the elements in your array. For doing this, first of all, I want to close it. That means here I want to remove it, and I want to pass some of the value. Okay, that means numeric value, like as a 12. Okay, I make it as a 12, 13, 14, and then I make it as a 17. Okay, I make it as a 17 and then 18. I simply add some of the value. Okay, numeric value. And here I want to take one of the variable. I name this as a numbers. Okay, numbers, and I make it as a constant variable. As I told you before, what exactly that means, according to the constant variable you cannot reassign any value, right? So I make it as a constant. Okay, so that is constant or variable name as a number, and here I declare one of the array. Into this array I pass some of the numeric value, right? So I want to add some of the value before this 12, and also if you want to add some of the another array value after the last one, then you can also add it. I show you. Like first of all, I want to add some of the another value before this 12. That means before our first one. Then they have some of the method. Now I want to call all that method. So now the first of all, that will be our variables as a numbers. And here, if you can see, there have so many. That is all that method. Okay, that is all that method. So now I want to do for adding before this array, they have one of the method as unshift. Okay, you can see there is an unshift method. So with this unshift method, here I want to add some of the value. I want to add some of the value like as a, there is a 12. So before this 12, I want to use 3 of this value like as a 9, then the comma, and then I make it as a 10 and then 11. Okay, so now these 3 of this array value that will be added in here. Okay, like I show you now in our console log, I want to display this number. I want to display this number. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's now added as a 9, 10, 11. Okay, then that means before our 12, now that is added our 3 of this, right? So with this unshift method you can add it. Like if you want to make it as a comment out, okay, I show you. Like I make it as a comment out. So now our number constant variable, here I name there as a 4 array value. So now that should be displayed our this 4. Click as a save all. Now refresh, you can see now is display as a 4. That is a 12, 13, 14, 14, 17 and 18. Great. And when you add that new array value, then you can actually add it with this method as an unshift method. If you now click as a save all, better I want to make it as a semicolon. Now click as a save all. Now refresh. Now you can see now there is a new is added as a 9, 10, 11. Okay friend, and also after this, after our last array, here if you want to add another value, you can also add it. Then that will be as a numbers. There is a variable, and then they have the another method as a push method. Okay, you can see there is a push method. So with this push, after this our last array, that means after our last index, I want to add another value like there is a 18, right? I want to add that 19, and then 20 and then 21. Okay, now that will be added. Okay, after this that will be added. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now yes, you can see it's now successfully added that 19, 20 and then 21. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. And now if you want to add that into the middle position, like you can see after that 14, then there is a 17. So I want to add another 2 of this value after that 14. Then I want to add that 15 and then 16. Okay, if you want to add this value, then you have to do, there is also another method. I just simply first of all add that our variable, and into this variable there is another method as a splish. Okay, you can see there is a splish. So with this method we can actually add it. Then you have to do like after which position you want to add. I want to add that that is our 0 index, and then the 1 index, then the 2 index, right? And after that there is a 3. So into the 3 position, okay, into the 3 position I want to add. And then here you can see there is also another method as a delete count. So from here I don't want to delete anything, right? Here I want to add data. So for the reasons here I want to make it as a 0. Okay, for the reasons here I want to make it as a 0. Then I want to add it as a 15 and then 16. Okay, I simply added another 2 of this. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. That will be as a comma. Okay, now that should be added. Now better I want to make both of this as a comment out. Okay, I make it as a comment out. Now if you click as a save all, now these 15 and 16 will be added in our 3 index. That means after that 14 that will be display. That means that will be index here. Now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see is now successfully added. That is our 14 and after that 14 and that is a 15 and then the 16. Okay, that is our 15 and 16 is added in here. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So into this lecture we learn how to add data, right? How to add that's array variable data. In our next video I want to discuss about how can remove this element. Okay, how can remove it. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that things with you, how can add some of the value before this array and also after this array, how can add some of the another value and also into the center position, how can add some of the value with the split, right? So there is an unshift one of the method, the push method and split method. Now I want to remove it. I want to remove it the same things. I want from to the beginning if you want to remove it, how can remove it, into the last one, how can remove it, and also into the center position, how can remove it. Okay, let's do that work. For doing this better I want to make it as a 1 and I take as a 2 and make it as a 3 and then 4 and then 5. I want to take another one as a 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I simply add it. Right now I remove it and also I remove it. Okay, I also remove it. First of all I want to remove from to the beginning. If you want to remove it from to the beginning, then they have also another method. So that is our numbers. Into the number there is another method as a shift. Okay, so when you run this shift method, automatically from to the beginning that will be removed. Like that means right now if you run as a 1, then first one will be removed. Okay, that means 1 by 1 it should be removed. Now click as a save all, and now if you go, now if you refresh it, now you can see that from here that is 1 is gone. And if you run it again, if you run it the 2 times, then 2 will be removed. Okay, now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see it's now started from to the 3. Okay friend, I hope it's very clear to you. And also from to the last, if you want to remove some of the value, then how can do this work? For doing this there is also another method. There is a numbers. With these numbers I want to there is a pop method. Okay, there is a pop method. So when you run any pop method, then automatically from your array our last value will be removed. Okay, like if you click as a save all, and now our 8 should be removed. That means here you can see there is a 8 not should be displayed right now. Yes, you can see 8 is totally gone. And also if you want to run it again another time, okay, if you run it another time, then another one will be gone. If you click at the save all, and now if you refresh it, okay, now you can see it's now totally gone. I hope it's very clear. And now if you want to remove it from particulars some of the places, you can also remove it. And then there is also another method. Okay, like there is a number with this number, and there is the spellish method same. Okay, so I have already discussed about that things with you. And from here what exactly data you want to remove, like as a 0 index, 1 index, right, and then the 2 index. So from to the 2 I want to remove it. Okay, I want to remove how many how many value you want to remove. I want to remove the 3 index. Okay, that means first of all that will be as a 2 index. So from to the 2 index I want to remove with the delete count. You can see that is a delete count. Here I want to remove the 3 value, so I make it as a 3. Before I didn't delete it, for the reason so here I make it as a 0. So right now I want to delete as a 3. That means 3 index will be removed. Okay, now if you want to check it, if you click as a save all, better I want to make it as a comment out. Okay, I make it as a comment out, click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's successfully deleted. Like there is a 1 and 2, and after the 2 there is a 3 deleted as a 3, 4, 5. Okay, that means the 3 value is deleted, and then there is a 6, 7, 8 is visible. You can see there is a 6, 7, 8 is visible. I hope friend you get some of the idea how can remove some of the array value data with the shift. There is a pop and then the splash. Okay, So everything will be needed later, friend. Make that sure you remember all that method. Okay, that is array is very important part for the JavaScript. Make that sure you remember all that part. Make that sure you coding with me. Okay, so it's a shift for delete data from to the beginning, pop for the delete data from to the last one, and splash. If you want to delete from a specific some of the index, then you can delete it with this splash method. I hope it's very much clear to you. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about how can finding an element in an array. So it's very much interactive, one of the things. Better right now to do and to close it. And here I make it as a, some of the our array element as a 1, 2, 3. I make it as a 2, and also I make it as a 2. Okay, I make it as a 2. Great. So here right now, if you click as a save all, okay, if you click as a save all, now that should be display all that our array value, which is totally fine. So I want to find some of the specific number. I want to check in our array element area, is there have any 3 value or not? Is there have any 5 value or not? If you want to search it, then you can search it by the console. There is a console log, and into the console log. So friend, just simply remember all that methods is very important. Okay, every method will be needed later. There is a number, and then there is another method as includes method. Okay, with this includes method, now we can actually search it. Like I want to search it in our total array elements area, is there have any 3 value or not? Okay, you can name it, you can also get that things by the name. So right now I make it as a number is all that value. So value is the same. Okay? If you want to use it as a string value, is totally fine. So now I am to search it with the numeric value. So now there is a 3. I want to search it, is there have any 3 value or not? Okay, now if you click as a save all, and now if you go, if there have any 3 value, then that will be returned as a true, rather than that will be returned as a false. Now they have the, in our array element area, they have one of the 3 value, so it should be display as a true. You can see it's not display as a true. Okay, and if you make it as a some of the another value as a 300, so right now I don't have any 300 value, now that should be display as a false. Now click as a refresh, you can see it's not display as a false. Okay friend, and also in our array element area here, you can see they have some of the repetitive value, like as a 2, 1, there is another one, right? So I want to find out they have the 3 relative our elements. Our first elements is which one? Okay, that means is there have any relative or not. So if there have any relative, that means the repetitive, then I want to get that first one, that means first index data. So if you want to get this element data, then that will be as a console, and then the console log, and then the numbers, right? With this number, there is another method as index of. Okay, that is the index of. So with this method we can actually get it, like here I simply pass for the 2, right? That will be as a 2. So now our repetitive as a, we started from our which index, now that should be display this index number. Now click as a save also, there is a 0 and then 1. Now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's now successfully display our indexing number as a 1. Okay, and if you want to get that our last one, okay, that means in our repetitive our last one is which index. If you want to get that index data, then there is also another method that will be as a console, and then the log, and console log, and then the numbers, and with this number there is another method as a last index. Okay, last index of. So now I want to make it as a last index of for the 2 value. Okay, I want to make it as a 2 value, sorry, that will be here, 2 value. Now if you click as a save all, so our last one as a this one, right? That means the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that should be displayed as a 6. Now if you go click as a refresh, yeah, you can see it's now display as a 6. Okay friend, and also if you want to pass some of the parameter, like double parameter, like here I pass it before as a 3, right? I make it as a 3. So when in our total array, if there have any 3, then that will be displayed as a true. Now click as a save all, refresh, now you can see it's a display as a true. So if you want to start it from a particular some of the index, okay, from the any index, if you want to start it, then you can actually start it like that is a 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I want to make it as a 4. Okay, here after this I pass another parameter as a 4. Now that will be start counting from our 4 index. Okay, in particular that position, now that will be search, is there have any 3 value or not. So from our 4 they have no 3 value, right? So that means right now that should be displayed as a false. If you now click as a save all, now refresh, now you can see it's now display as a false. But here if you pass it as a like as a 6, okay, I want to do to search it with the 6 because that will be started from our 4, right? That is a 4 index. So into the 4 index, a particular this area that will be checked, is there have any 6 value or not. If you now click as a save all, now refresh, now that should be displayed as a true. You can see it's now successfully displayed as a true. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about how can finding object in array. Like I show you with the live example, but I put some the note as a finding. Okay, finding object in array. Okay, array. So here, first of all, I want to declare one of the array. Better I remove everything. Okay, I remove everything, and I want to declare one of the constant variable. That is a constant variable, and here I name it as a doctors. Okay, doctors. So now I want to declare one of the object. I hope you already know how to declare some of the object, right? So that is our object. I want to declare like here. I want to declare with the name. Okay, I declare one of the name. That is a name property. Here I want to declare the value. Our value will be as a Kazi, and also I want to declare another one as age. Okay, age, and for the age I want to declare as a 20. Okay, and also I want to take another 2 of this. I simply paste it, and also after that I paste it. So that will be as a Kazi. I make it as a Jack, and for the Jack I make it as a 30, and also I take another one as a Aryan, and I make it as a 40. Okay, I make it as a 40. Great. Now I want to search it. I want to search a specific some of the object. So if you want to search it, then you have to do like I take one of the constant variable, I name as a result. I take name as a result. So into this result area, first of all here that is our object name, right? Our object name, as I name it as a doctor. So with these doctors, that is also another method as a find method. So now with this find method area, here we have to call one of the callback function. That is actually one of the callback function. Okay, so into this callback function here I want to pass that as a doctor. I name one of the name parameter. Here I want to pass one of the parameter as a doctor. Okay, doctor. So that is our callback function, and with this callback function area I pass one of the parameter as a doctor, right? Here I want to put one of the condition. That means which data I want to get. I want to return this. I return this our doctor. Okay, that is our doctor, and here I want to return that name. Okay, I want to search with the name when this name will be equal like as a Kazi. Okay, when that will be as a Kazi, I want to return it. So if you want to now check it, okay, if you want to now check it, like here I want to with the console log, okay, so with this console log, there is a console log. Here I want to display our this result, right? So that will be the result. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go, now click as a refresh, yes, you can see this perfectly get our specific this object whole data, that is a age 20 and name as a Kazi. So if you want to pass it as a Jack data, now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see it's now perfectly get this Jack data. Okay friend, I hope it's very clear. That is I take one of the variable as a result, and now that is our doctor's object. Into this doctor's object area, here I want to search, right? For the reasons here you can search it with the find method, and into this find method area here you have to declare one of the callback function. I pass one of the parameter as a doctor, whatever the name actually you choose, and then with this doctor I want to access our property. Which property? That is a name property. So now that will be check all that our property value. When this name will be equal Jack, then I want to get all the data. Okay, so here you can see it's now successfully get this data, and it's visible this all that our object data. Okay friend, and now also if you want to get that by the age, like I want to get that by age, which day age is greater than the 30, then I want to get all that this user object data. So if you want to do that work, that is our doctors. With this doctor I want to access our object property name as a age. Okay, when this age will be, I want to make it as a greater than 30, then just simply get all that return data. Okay, here it should be get this data and it should be returned it, and also I print this result. Now let's check this out. Click as a save all. Now right now there the two data should be displayed. Now click as a refresh. Now you can see it's now successfully get this data as a Aryan as a 40. Okay, here it's actually getting only one data is because of all that is our finding method. Into this finding method, when it should be get that a specific one data, like that is our greater than 30, right? So now only it should be get one data. Okay, for the reasons you can see it's now display one data, that is a Aryan, which is totally fine. I hope friend you get some of the idea how to get that object data and how can display it. Okay, so that is a simple process you have to remember. So we can find it with our this find method. Okay, I hope it's very much clear to you. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about iterating an array. That will be like as if with the for loop, we can traverse it with the for of loop, and also I want to share another method as a for each loop. Okay, I want to do like right now I want to remove everything. Okay, so here from here I want to remove everything. Here I want to declare one of the array. Okay, I want to declare one of the array in here. So right now that will be not needed, and I just take one of the variable. Okay, I take one of the constant variable as a numbers. Okay, numbers, and also better I want to make it that will be as a iterating in array. Okay, that is iterating in array. So I take one of the constant variable, there is a numbers variable. Here I want to pass on the array value like is a 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5. Okay, so here I simply pass 5 of this array element data, which is totally fine. So now if you want to visible it, you can visible it with this number. So right now we don't need this. I want to traverse all the data with the for loop. So if you want to get that by the for loop, what exactly you have to do? There is a for. Okay, there is a for loop. Here I will simply start it. I take one of the variable. I just name it as the index. Okay, I just name it as index. So from where exactly that will be started? So that is one of the array data. Remember, and into this array data, as I told you before, that will be started from to the 0. So I want to restart it, initialize with the 0. Okay, and then I want to get, that means how many times that will be run. So here I want to do that will be started from our first element, and it should be just simply go to our last element. So for the reasons here we have to get that out by the length. I want to take our this index, that means that will be initialized from to the 0, and then that will be less than, okay, that will be less than our length. So if you want to access that length, what exactly you have to do with this number? There is another property, as I told you, as a length, right? There is a length property. With this length property, we will count all that our length. So right now they have the 5 length, right? So first of all, it should be check first one, then second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. So that is our total length. Okay, here I simply add it, that is a length property, and then that will be as a incremented. Okay, that means our this index will be as a plus. Great. And now I want to put this condition. I want to display it with the console log, and with this console log, if you want to, as I told you before, that is a key and then our value, right? If you want to display that key, then that will be the index, right? So that is that means this index. So if you want to check it again, I show you, then that will be actually display all that our index data, not that value. Like if you now click as a refresh, now you can see it's now display all that our index numbers. So now I want to display that value. So if you want to display that value, I have already discussed about that things with you. Then what exactly you have to do? Then that will be as our numbers, right? With these numbers, I want to pass that our this index. Okay, now that should be display our value. So that is our key, and then that is our value. Now if you click as a save all, now refresh, you can see that is our key, and that is our all that value. Okay, perfect. And also you can use it with the for of loop. I hope you already remember that part. That will be as a for. Oh, sorry, here I want to declare as a for, and for that will be as a, I make it as a let, and just name it as a number. Okay, number of, there is a for of, and then the same as a numbers. There is a numbers, our array. I take that things with this variable, and then here if you want to display that index, then what exactly you have to do? There is a console, and then the log, and console log I want to display all that our value. I get that things in our number, so that is our number. I want to display the number. Now that should be display all that our value, right? Now that should be display value. Click as a save all, and now refresh it. Yeah, you can see it's now successfully display all that our value. So there is a for loop, and then also there is another one as a for of. And now I want to discuss about another one, that is for each. Okay, so here if you want to use it, that will be as a number, that means our total variable array, all that value, and then the for each. Okay, so that is a for each method. Here when you use that for each method, we have to call one of the callback function. So that is our callback function, and into this callback function area, here I want to pass our number. Okay, that is a number. I simply pass one of the parameter as a number, and also I want to pass one of the parameter as an index. So if you want to get that as a key and then a value data, so that is the simple pass. I pass through of this parameter. One is the number, another is the index. Okay, and now we have to display it, right? So here I want to display, there is a console and then the console log, and with this console log here I want to pass that our number. So I pass that as a number, and also I want to pass that as an index. Now that should be display both of this. That will be display our key, and that will be display our index value, right? Now if you check it, always better use that semicolon. Okay, it's okay, but right now I want to do this best practice is used to semicolon. Now click as a save all. Now refresh it. You can see that is our value is display, and also is display our indexing value. Okay, just simply remember all that part, friend. Remember that for how that functionality work, for of how to work with this for of, and also there is a for each. Okay, so it's very simple, all that process. I hope you understand it very clearly. So that is the interacting. Okay, hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about the sorting and reversing an array. That means if you want to get that as a ascending order all that data, if you want to get that all that descending order data, how can do that work? In this video, I will show you that things with a live example. Like first of all, better I want to change that name. In this video, I want to discuss about the sorting. Okay, sorting and reversing. Okay, reversing an array. Okay, an array. Great. So for doing this, I want to do right now, I close everything. Like I take one of the variable as a numbers, and into this numbers area, I want to just insert some of the value as a 6, and I make it as a 8, I make it as a 7, okay, I make it as a 2 and 1, and I also want to use it as a 9. Okay, 9. And now I want to get all that ascending data. That means that will be started from our 1 to, and then that will be as a 9, right? So that is our ascending order data. So if you want to get this by ascending order in JavaScript, they have one of the method as a short method. Okay, I show you, like I name it as a numbers, and this number I want to call this method as a short. Okay, that will be as a short. Sorry, short. Short. You can see there is a short method. So I simply run this short method, and now if you want to check it into the console log, there is a console, and then console log area. I want to pass our variable name as a numbers. Okay, and now if you click as a save all, now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see it's now successfully organized. So now that is actually get this data by ascending order. Okay, all that our array data is now display as a ascending order as 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Okay, friend, I hope it's very clear. And now if you want to get this data by the descending order, then they have also another method. There is another method. I just simply run it as a numbers, and there is another method as a reverse method. Okay, that will be as a reverse. So I make it as a reverse, and that is our reverse method. Now that should be get all the data by the descending order. Okay, that means our big amount data will be display first, and then that will be our last one. Like if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, yes, you can see it's now successfully get this data by descending order. That is 9, 8, 7, 6, and then 2, and then 1. I hope friend you get some of the idea how to get that ascending all the data, how can get all the descending order data. But here you have to remember one thing. So when you actually pass this short method, then automatically it's make all that our array data as a string data. Better I show you the another example, then that will be very clear. I take one of the another variable as a doctors. Okay, doctors, and into this doctors area here I want to pass one of the object. Okay, object value I want to pass two of this object. I take one of the name. Okay, that will be as a name, and name I make it as a Kazi. Okay, I make it as a Kazi, and also I put another one, our property as age. So age I want to make it as a 40. okay, 40. And also I want to take another one. Better I copy it and then paste it. I want to take another name as a Aryan, and age I make it as a 30. Okay, now I want to short it. I want to short it by the age. That means if you want to short it with the ascending order, then first of all this data should be displayed, and then that will be displayed our 40, right? So now if you want to check it, like here I want to that is our doctors, right? So there is a doctors, and these doctors I want to call that our short method, and that is a short, and there is a short method, right? So into this short method area here I simply call it, and then after that if you want to print it, that will be as a console, and then console log, and our this name, our object name as a doctors, right? So now I simply pass it. If you now click as a save all, now everything will be more clear. Click as refresh, and now you can see there is a 2 data, but here that should be, I am actually using that short method, right? So into the short method, what exactly that will be do? That will be get this data by the ascending order. That means that should be comes up with the 30 first and then the 40, right? But it's not actually get that things like that way, because of all here I didn't pass any condition. So now we have to pass some of the condition in our age, because with this age I want to get this ascending order or the descending order. For the reasons we have to do in our this doctor short, here we have to create another function name. I simply name it on the function, and into this function area I want to pass 2 of this parameter. One is the d1, whatever the name actually choose. So right now there is a 2 property, I name it as a d1 and then d2. Okay, so there is a d2. Great. And after that, okay, after that here I want to there have the 3 condition I want to apply. That means when that will be as a positive number, then I want to get this data with the ascending order, and rather than that will be get this as a 0, or rather than that will be as a negative number. So that's all age will be, right? Some of the time it may have as only the 0, that means a 0 age, rather than that will be as a positive number, rather than that will be as a negative number, right? So here I want to put all that condition in here. So I want to put this condition into the if area, if, okay, if, and then our d1, and with this I want to access our property. You can see there is our property. So there is a age property, right? When this with this d1 I want to access that age, when that will be as a greater than, there is a d2, okay, d2 age. So there is a d2 age. When that will be as a greater than our d2 age, then that will be returned. Okay, that will be returned on the positive number. That means I want to make it as a +1. Okay, and when I want to put another condition, if condition, and when our d1, there is a d1 age. Okay, d1 age will be as a equal our d2 age. There is a d2. Sorry, that will be as a d2 age. Okay, d2 and then age, there is a d2 age, then that will be return 0. Okay, I want to make it as a return 0. Great. And also I want to add another one, if, and then when our d1, okay, d1, there is a d1 and d1 age. Okay, d1 age will be as a less than, okay, less than d2 age, the d2 age. Okay, when it should be as a less than d2 age, then that will be return on the negative value. That means the return as a -1. Okay, I make it as a -1. Perfect. Now that should be great. So right now that is all that are positive number. Now that means that is actually our condition. Now that should be get that data by the ascending order. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now go there, yes, you can see it's now successfully get the data by the ascending order. There is a 30 and then there is a 40. And now if you want to get this data by the descending order, then I only to into this here. Okay, here I want to with the chain I want to run our this reverse method. I simply with this chain I want to reverse our, I just call our reverse method. Now that should be changed. That means now that will be get this data by the descending order. Click as a save all and now click as a refresh. Now go there, yes, you can see it's now perfectly get this data by the descending order. Now that is our 40 is first and then 30 is the last. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. Simply understand or simply remember all that concept. Okay, just simply remember that concept, that remember the short method, remember the reverse method. Okay, with this reverse method we get this as a descending order data, with this short we get this our ascending order data. Great. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about another two of this array method as a every and then sum. Like I better name it as a array method. Okay, that will be the array method. An array method, two of this array method I want to discuss about. That will be around the every method. Okay, every method, and another will be as a sum method. So now I want to show that things with the live example. Right now I remove everything. Okay, I remove everything. Like here I take one of the variable as a numbers, and now here that is in our all that array data, right? So this array here I want to do and to check it everything is the positive data or the negative data. So if there have any positive data, I want to do and to get this all that positive data, and that will be displayed as a true. So if you want to check it, you can check it with the every function. Just simply remember that function name. I take another constant variable. Okay, I take another constant variable and I just name it as a data. Okay, I name it as a data, and then now with our numbers, and here I want to do and to call that our every function. You can see there is one of the methods. So there is a every method here with this. I want to do and to check it. I first of all I load one of the functions into this, and with the function I want to do and to pass one of the parameter as a number. Whatever the name I actually choose, now I name it as a number. Okay, now I want to do and to return this number. That means from here there is a return our number, right? So when this number will be as a greater than 0, okay, then that will be the greater than 0, then I want to do and to get all the data. So with this every method, it should be check every data in our this array. Is there have any negative number or not? So right now they have the no negative number, right? All that are positive number. For the reasons now that should be display which things that should be displayed as a true. Like I check it with the console. Okay, console with the console log. I want to do and to check our this data. Okay, I want to do and to check it. Now everything will be more clear. Now if you click as a save all, now go there, click as a refresh. And now you can see it's now successfully displayed as a true. Like here, if they have any minus data, that means I make it as a -2. Okay, that is actually negative number. If you click as a save all, now that should be displayed as a false. You can see it's now displayed as a false. Okay, friend. Now I want to call our this sum method. So if you use that sum method with this method will be check our this array. Is there have any positive data or not? So if there have any one positive number, okay, if there have any one positive number, then that will be returned as a true. But when you use that as every method will be check all that number should be as a positive number. Okay, but when you use that as a sum, if there have any one number is a positive, and if there have the multiple one as a negative data, then it's totally fine. That will be displayed as a true. I show you, like here I want to do to run that sum method right now. Okay, I make it as a sum. So before you can say I have already used that as every. So if there have any negative number, one negative number is here, but for the reasons it's display as a false. So right now I'm using that our sum method. So into this sum method area, if there have one positive number, then that should be displayed as a true. So right now they have the multiple one as a positive number, only one is the negative number, right? If you now click as a save all, and now that should be displayed as a true. Click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see it's now displayed as a true. I hope you get some of the idea. With this every method, you can check all that your array data, that is the positive data or not. With the sum, you can check all that your array data, that is the is one any positive number is or not. Okay, so that is the simple two of this method. Just simply remember all that method name. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about another two of this array method. Okay, I want to discuss about another two of this array method as a concat method and also the slice method. Okay, so with this concat method, what exactly we can do? Better I want to show you with the live example. I remove everything. I take one of the constant variable. I take one of the constant variable as a number. Okay, number 1. And here I declare one of the array, and into this array area I want to declare some of the array value as a 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, I simply take it, and also I take another one as the constant and the number 2 another variable, and here I want to do and to load another array value. I make it as a 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this type of one of the array I simply take it. Okay, perfect. So here I take two of this array. One is the number 1, and another I take another variable as a number 2. Here I declare another array, right? So now with this concat, if you want to combine both of this array data, then you can actually combine both of this array data with our this method as a concat method. Okay, like if in our number 1 there is a 1 2 3, and in our number 2 there is a value as a 4 5 6 7. So now I want to combine both of these. That means I want to join both of this array data. Okay, here if you want to do that work, then only you have to do better. I take another variable as a number, and into this number area here I want to combine our which one. I want to combine our number 1, and then I want to connect it. That means I want to join it with our method as a concate method. Okay, so with this concate method I want to join our which one. I want to join our another variable as a number 2, right? So I simply take it with this number 2. You can do that work with using another operator as a spread operator. In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So right now with this concate method I join that number 1 array data, and that is our, with the concate method, that is our another one as a number 2, right? So now if you want to visible it, so I want to visible it with the console log, and then I want to display our number. Okay, number. So I simply display it. So now let's check this out. If you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, yeah, you can see it's now successful. So now it's combining all that our both of these data, that is a 1 2 3 and then 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, it's now successfully combined both of these data. That means it's successfully joined two of this array. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So now another method as a slice method. So with this slice method here, if you want to get a specific sum of the array data value, then with this value if you want to create another array, then you can do that work with using this slice. I show you. Like here I take one of the variable, okay, with the constant variable I name it as a number. Okay, I name it as a number, and then I want to call another array. I'll take it as a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, perfect. I take one of the array value as a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Great. And now I want to take our this 4 to 7. Okay, this part, with this I want to take it from here, and with this I want to declare another array. So if you want to do that work, you can do that work with using that slice. Like here I take another variable. Okay, I want to take that as a constant. I name it as a slice. Okay, slice array. So I take this type of one of the variable, and now here first of all that will be the numbers, right? That is our numbers, and into this numbers area which slice you want to take. So first of all we have to declare that slice method. So that is our slice method, and into this slice method area here we have to declare our index. Okay, that means that is a 0 index, and then the 1 index, then the 2 index, right? So I want to take it from to the 4 and 4 to 7. Okay, for now I want to take it as a 4 to 7, so that will be as a 3. I make it as a 3 index. Okay, that is a 3 index, and then I want to make it as a 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. I want to take it as a 6. Okay, I just simply take it as a 6. And now if you click as a want to display it with the console. Okay, console, with the console log I want to display our this slice area. Okay, that means a slice array. So I simply declare this variable name. Now everything will be more clear. Click as a save all. Now go there, click as a refresh. You can see it's now perfect. It's now perfectly get our this part as a 4 index, that is a 3 index. The index is started from to the 4, and then 6 index is the 6, right? So now it successfully get this data, this appropriate this position data, and now it's generated another new array. Okay, I hope it's very much clear. So we can with this slice method you can do that work very easily. I hope friend you understand that concate method and then slice method, and you can also join two of this table with using that spread operator. I will show you in our next video, but I want to show you that things with the live example. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video I will discuss about that spread operator. Okay, and that will be the spread operator. Spread operator. So how can working with this spread operator, better I want to do and to remove everything, and here I take one of the variable as a numbers. Okay, numbers, and into this position I take as a 3, and then the 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, So I simply take some of the array. So that is our all that array value, right? So now with this spread operator, if you want to display that things in different way, you can different way. That means all that element only will be displayed. Like if you now display it, that means if you print it with the console log, if you now print that numbers, and now everything will be more clear. Now if you click as a save also, that is our array data, right? Array data actually display different way. Like here you can see now that is displayed like that way, right? So that is our all that array indexing data, and that is our value. But I want to get only that value. So if you want to get it, then you can get it by the this spread operator. So I take another as a console log, okay, console, and then the console log, and then spread operator is the 3 dot, right? So there is a 3 dot, and before that our variable here we have to use that this spread operator. So I have already declared the 3 dot, that means that is our spread operator, and then I want to display our variable name as a numbers. Now if you click as a save all, okay, if you click as a save all, now click as a refresh, you can see it successfully get that our value. So if you want to display this value directly, you have to just simply run it with the console log. If you want to, then that will be actually a little bit big size. Like here we have to use it as a bracket notation, that is our bracket notation as a 0 index, right? So that is a 0 index data, and then the numbers, and the numbers we have to declare the 1 index data, okay? So here then we have to print it that things like that way. If you now click as a save all, now that should be displayed both of 1 and 2. Now you see it's now display as a 1 and 2. I hope you understand if you use that as a separate operator. So now with the separate operator, you can actually display all that your indexing value. And also I have discussed about that things with you before, that is with this separate operator you can also clone, right? You can clone your any other array. Like here if you want to clone this one, okay, if you want to clone this array, then what exactly you have to do? Simply I take one of the constructor, okay, I take one of the constant variable, I name it as a copied array. Okay, I name it as a copied array, and then I want to declare that will be our separate operator, and with this separate operator I want to declare the numbers. Okay, I simply declare that numbers. Great. Now if you want to check it with the console log, okay, console, there is a console, and then console log. With this console log, now if you check this our copy, that is a copied array, I want to check it. Okay, now that should be also copy the same array in here. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, you can see it's now successfully generated another one. So that is simply copy our total things, right? That is our first one, and that is our second one. That means that is our copy one. So it successfully copy our first numbers. So now that is actually our numbers, right? I print it into the number 9, and now you can see it's now display into the index JS9. Great, that is our copy. And before I have already discussed about one of the array method as a concat method, right? You can also combine both of this array data with using that separate operator. Now I want to show you that things with a live example. I take one of the variable as a constant as a number, okay, number 1, and for the number 1 I declare one of the array as a 1, 2, 3, okay, that is 1, 2, 3, and also I take another one as a constant, that is a number 2, and for the number 2 I want to take another 3 as a 4, and then 5, and then 6. Okay, so I simply take it. Great. And now after that I take another variable as a constant, and the number, okay, I take as a number, and then I want to declare our operator. First of all, we have to separate it all that our element. So I want to separate an element with the separate operator, and then our number 1, okay, that is our number 1 variable. I separated this data, and also I want to separate another one, that will be the 3 separate operator, and then I want to call that our number 2, and that is our number 2. Okay, so that is our number 2. And now if you run it, that means if you display with the console, okay, console, and then console log, I want to display our this number, that is a number variable, right? That is a number variable. I simply declare it. So before we join two of this array data with using that concat method, now you can also do that with using that as separate operator. Okay, now if you click as a save all, now if you go click as a refresh, yes, you can see it's now successfully joined both of these. So that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is our first array, and that is our second array. So you can also do that work with using that separate operator. You can also do that work with using that concatenates. Whatever the things you like, you can actually choose it. Okay, but simply remember and understand all that functionality of this separate operator. In our next video, I'm going to discuss about the joining array. How can working with this, I will show you that things with the live example. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to discuss about that array joining. That means I make it as a joining array. Okay, joining array. So with this joining array, what exactly you can do? Better right now and to close everything. Okay, I remove everything. Here, that is all that our array value. All right. So into the array, you can actually display all that array. You do a string view. You can use that on the separated as a comma separated, and also you can use that as a hyphen separated. Like I show you, like first of all, I want to take one of the variable. I name it as a numbers. Okay, numbers, and into this numbers area I declare one of the array. I make it as a 1 2 3 and then 4. Okay, I simply take as a 4. So that is one of the array, right? Now I want to make this array to the one of the string view. So if you want to do that work, then what exactly you have to do? That is a let, and I just take another variable as a join. Okay, joined array. Okay, array. And then with our these numbers, and then they have the one of the method as a join method. Okay, so that is one of the join method. So with this join method area here, whatever the things you will be passed, that will be displayed into the string view area. Okay, like here right now I want to do, first of all I want to display it. That means in our console, into the console, and with this console log area I want to display out this join array and this variable. I want to print it. Now let's check this out. Click as a save all. And if you now go there, click as a refresh, now you can see that is one of the string, right? So that is one of the string array now display. So that is one of the array, but right now I convert it to the string view. We can convert it to the string with this join method. Okay, and into this here right now by default that is a separated. If you want to make it one of the hyphen, then that will be separated. All that our array value will be separated by the hyphen. And now click as a refresh. Now you can see that is our hyphen, and that is one of the string value. That is not that array value, right? Array is display with the different way with the indexing, right? So now that is one of the string view, and it's now successfully displayed. And also if you pass another space in here, then that will be one of the separated by the space. If you now click the refresh, you can see it's now separated by the space. Okay. So now I want to do do another work. Like here I make it as a array to the string view, right? So now I want to make this change. Here I want to change that string to the array. So how can then do that work? For doing this, I take one of the variable as a message. Okay, message, and here I want to declare one of the string value as a hi, my name is Aryan. Okay, so I simply take one of the string value. So this string value, now I want to make it as a array. So here only we have to do, like they have some of the space, right? First of all, we have to remove all that space. So if you want to remove this space, I have already discussed about that things with you. They have another method as a split method, right? So better I want to do, I take one of the variable as a constant variable. I take it as a array. Okay, array message. Array message. So this type of one of the variable, and here first of all that is our message. So that is a message, and this message I want to declare the split method. Okay, split, that is a split method. And what exactly the things you want to split? I want to split our this space, right? So here I want to do to make one of the space. Okay, now that will be split all the spaces, and now I want to display it into the console. Sorry, that will be as a console. Into the console log area I want to display our array message. Okay, so this array message now I want to display. Now if you click as a save all, so now that is one of the string value. Now I make it as a array. If you now go click as a refresh, yes, you can see it's separated all that our hi, my name is Aryan. Okay, and now also if you want to make it, that is all that array. If you want to make it array to the string, then what exactly you have to do? We have to call simply our this join method. Okay, here into this position, and we're going to add that our join method, and I want to separate it. I want to separate it with the hyphen. Okay, now that will be again to the string value. Now click as a save all. Before that was I make it as a string to the array, and now I want to make it as an array to the again string. Now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see there is a hi hyphen my hyphen name is Aryan. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So with the join method, you can make this array to the string value, and that is if you want to make any string value to the array, then you can make it with the split. Okay, simple work. I hope you understand that part very clearly. In our next video, I want to discuss about that mapping an array. How can working with this, I will show you that things with a live example. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about es6, one of the features as a map. Okay, better write down, I want to write down it. That is one of the es6 latest features. Okay, es6 features. Okay, and then that is name as a map. So now that with this map method, I want to declare some of the things I show you. Like first of all, right now let's remove it. I take one of the variable, and into this variable area I take one of the array. Now I want to multiple it. That means when you run this array, all that our array value will be multiple. You can do this work with using that for of loop. I have already discussed about that things with you. Then what exactly you have to do? I take another variable. Okay, I take another variable here as a let as a multiple. Okay, I name it as a multiple by 2. Okay, multiple by 2. So this type of one of the variable, and here first of all I wanted to make one of the empty object. I just simply make it as a empty, and now I want to load our for loop. That is a for, and with this for area I take one of the variable that will be as a number, right? So that is a number of which all that our variable data, that means array data, that is our numbers data, right? I simply take it. Okay, I simply take it in here, and after that what exactly you have to do? Then we have to run with the push, right? So that will be as a multiple. There is a multi by 2, multiple by 2, and then that is a push. There is a push method. Into this push method area, that is our number, right? I take that as a number, and number will be into our 2, right? So then automatically first of all that loop will be run and make it as a into 2, that will 2, and then there's a 4, there is a 6, and that will be the 8, right? So that will be multiple with the 2, and I take that variable name as a number. So this number will be run it again. So here that is a push method, automatically our this functionality will be executed. So now if you want to check it, I want to check it with the console log. There is a console log, and into this console log area now I want to display our multi by 2. Okay, so this variable now I want to print it. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's now successfully multiple by the 2. That is a 2, 4, 6, and then 8. That is all that our array value. Okay friend, so you can do that work with using that for loop, and you can also do that work with using that map. Okay, I show you. Then I want to make it as a comment out. Okay, I make it as a comment out, and then after this here I take another variable as a constant. Okay, I take another constant variable, and I just name it as a multi again, like same name. Okay, multi by 2. Okay, multi by 2. So this type of another variable, and now then same as our number. So that is a numbers, and into this numbers area now I want to call that map method. Okay, so with this map method, first of all here we have to declare one of the callback function. So I make it as a callback function, and into this function area I pass one of the number. Okay, I pass one of the parameter in here as a number. Great. So after that here we have to do, we have to return our this number. So that is a number will be equal to with the that is a multiple with the 2. Okay, so that is a simple one line code you have to write. And now if you check it, that means the console. Okay, if you run with the console log, and into this console log now I want to display that multi, so that multiple by 2 variable. Now if you refresh it, click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, you can see the result is the same. There is a 2, 4, 6, 8. If you want to make another one, if you want to make it as a 4, I make it as a 5. Okay, now that will be multiple again with the 2. Now refresh it. Yeah, you can see 10. Perfect. I hope friend you get some of the idea. That is our you can do that work with using that for loop which I have already discussed about that things with you, and now you can do that work with using that map. Okay, that is a map method with very simple work. There is a single line code you have to write down it. Okay, and now they have the only one condition. You can also use it as a array function. So into this array function, so what exactly you have to do? Right now we don't need this. and here I want to declare one of the array function. Okay, so here that will be as a array function, and now I want to remove it. Okay, I simply remove that part from to this position. That will be as a return. Okay, that will be as a return and then number. So now that is our array function, and also here we don't need this third bracket. I simply remove it. Okay, I simply remove it, and then I want to remove this part also. That is the same things. Now I want to make it as a single line. So now that is our array function. If you now click as a save all, now refresh, result is the same. So here that is the idea that things with this array. You can, if you want to get that by the object, then you can also do that work. Better I want to do and to show you another example. Okay, right now I remove it. I take one of the object, so I take one of the late and then doctor. Okay, take one of the variable as a doctor, and then I take one of the object into this object area. Here I want to do and to put that name property. Name I make it as a Kazi. Okay, Kazi, and then also I take another one as a age property. Here I make it as a 40. Okay, I make it as a 40. Great. And also I want to do and to take another 3. That means another 2. I copy it and then paste it. So that will be the Kazi, Aryan, and also I take another one as a Raju. Okay, Raju. Great. And that will be the 30, and that will be the 20. Perfect. So now I want to do and to get this data with using that map. Then what exactly you have to do? Then you have to take take one of the constant variable. That is a constant variable. I name it as a doc. Okay, doc name. Whatever the name actually you choose, I will make it as a doc name. Now from our this doctor object, I want to get only that name. Okay, if you want to get that name, you can get it. If you want to access that age, then you can also access this property. So first of all, I want to take that our name. So if you want to take it, first of all, our object name, I name it as a doctor, right? And then our map method. So that is our map method, and into this map method area, here I want to declare our one of the parameter as a doctor. Okay, that is a doctor, and then our array. Here you can use that callback function rather than now I am using that array function. Okay, that is a doc, then that is a doc, and with this doc I want to access our which property? I want to access our name property. Okay, now that should be display our name. So if you want to check it, there is a console log, and here I want to display that our doctor name. Okay, now that should be display only which things, that now that should be display only our doctor name property, all that value. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, now go there, click as a refresh, you can see it's now successfully get that all that name. If you want to get that as a age, that will be as age. Now that should be get all that our age value data. Click as a refresh, you can see it's now successfully get all that our age value data. Okay, so you can do that work very easily. Here you don't need to run that any for of loop, and only you can do that work with using that map method. Okay, so with this map method you can do that work very easily. I hope you like it very much. In our next video I want to discuss about that filtering in array. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video I want to discuss about es6 and other features as a filtering. Okay, that means right now I want to discuss about that filtering. Okay, filtering and array. So filtering an array means I want to do better. I want to show you the live example, then everything will be more clear. I take one of the variable as a numbers. Okay, numbers, and here I want to declare one of the array like as a 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, I take one of the array. So that is all that our array value. I take the things with this variable. So from here I want to get all that our odd number. Okay, I want to get all that our odd number. If you want to get that even number, you can also get it. If you want to get this work, they have the two way. You can use that with the for of loop, rather than you can also use it with the filter. Okay, with the filter, that will be simple one line, just like as a map before. Rather than if you want to get that as a with the for, I will show both of this with you. I take one of the variable, I just name it as a only odd number. Okay, I make it as a odd numbers. And first of all, I want to take one of the empty array. Okay, so here I make it one of the empty array. So from to the array, that is all that our value, right? Here from here I want to get all that our odd number, and I will save this odd number in our this empty array area. Okay, so for the reasons here I take one of the empty array, and now I hope you already know that procedure. That will be as a for up loop. That means the for, and I take one of the variable as a number, and then that will be as a of which will be get our all the data from our which array. So I take all that our array with this variable as a number. Okay friend, I hope you already know about it. And now I want to do put one of the condition. Here I want to put one of the if condition into the if area when our number will be odd. Okay, odd, I have already discussed about that things with you. Odd will be with the 2. Then I want to do the one which will be equal 1. Then I want to get all that number. Okay, right? So here I want to get it. That means that will be our only, because here we have to save it, right? We have to save all that our odd number. It will be check this condition. Now I want to save it in our this empty array area. So that is our only odd number. This number I want to push it. That will be push with this push method. I want to push it in our this empty array area. Okay, so here that will be save all that our conditional data, that is our name. Okay, so now I simply add it. So here I take that variable, that is our condition, and now in our only or odd number, into this odd number, that is an empty array. Here I push all that our odd number which will be eligible for this condition. This all the data value data will be saved in here with the push method, right? So here I simply add it. And now if you want to check it, you can check it with the console log. There is a console log. Here I want to do to check our this only number. I have already pushed it. Now I want to do to check it. Which data, which array value data is save it in here. I want to do to check it. If you now click as a save all and now refresh it. Now you can see it's now successfully get our 3 of this data. That is a 1, 3, and then 5. That is our all that odd number, right? 1, 3, and then 5. And if you want to make it as an even number, like if you want to make it as a not equal 1, okay, make it as a not, then that will be get all that our even data, that means a 2, 4, and then 6, right? If you now click as a save all, now if you go click as a refresh, yeah, you can see it's now get that as a 2, 4, 6. Great. So that is the one process, right? So that is the one process, and now I want to do that work with using that filter method. How much easily we can do that work, I show you. Right now I want to make it as a comment out. Okay, I make it as a comment out. And now I want to take another variable as a constant. Sorry, that will be as a constant. That is a constant variable, and here I name it as the same name only. Better I want to name it as the same name as the only odd numbers. Okay, odd numbers will be our from where it will be get this data. That is our all that array that I take it with these numbers. So that will be as a numbers, and then I want to declare one of the filter method. Okay, so that is one of the filter fil. You can see that is a filter method. I want to declare our filter method, then one of the callback function, that is a callback function area. Here I pass on the parameter, I pass that number. Okay, I pass that as a number, and this number you can also use it one of the array function. Right now it's okay. I want to do and to return. I want to return our which things. I want to return our condition. That means that is the same condition that I have done before. That will be the odd with the 2, and then equal 1. Okay, then equal 1. Then that will be display this data. So now if you print it, that is a console. Okay, console log, and here I want to print that our this only odd number. Okay, so sorry, here that will be to the first bracket. So that is our odd number. I want to print it. Now let's check this out, what exactly the things that will be look like. That will be same message. Click as a save all. That means this will be get all that our odd number. Click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see it's now successfully get that as a 135. Right, friend? I hope you get this idea. You can do that work like that way, or rather than when you use that as a filter, with this filter you can do that work in one line. Perfect. In our next video, I'm going to discuss about another features as a reduce and array. How you can do that work, I will show you that things with a live example. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to discuss about another es6 feature, that is one of the another array method. Okay, there is another array method, but I name it as array method. Okay, method, and this method name as a reduce. So with this reduce method, what exactly you can do? Like if you want to add the number, which I have already discussed about that things before, right now, but I show you. But I take one of the variable as a numbers, and into this numbers area here I want to declare as a 10, okay, 10, 20, and then 30. So I simply take 3 of these value numbers. So now I want to add it. So before, when you want to add it, what exactly you have to do, I have already discussed about that things with you. That will be the let. First of all, I take one of the initialize, that means for the first time that will be as a 0. Okay, I take one of the variable as a sum, and here initialize value I make it as a 0. And then with the for, okay, with the for of loop we can do that work. That is our for, and then I take that number, and then of our, it will be get all the data from the numbers, right? So I simply get these numbers, and after that here we have to add that condition. I take that as a sum, one of the variable. Now that will be add, that means our this sum, that is our 0 value, and here with this that will be add all that our numbers value, right? Here I take that all that our numbers, and now that is in here. So now that will be our number. Okay, I simply add that number. That means right now that will be add all that our number. So now if you want to check it, with the console log, that is a console log, right? That is a console log, and into this console log area here I want to pass that our sum. Now if you click as a save all, now our all that array value will be add. Now that should be as a 60, right? Now click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see it's now print as a 60. Great. So now if you want to do that work, now using that reduce method, you can also do it very easily. Then only you have to do simply take one of the constant variable. Okay, I take one of the constant variable as a reduce sum. Whatever name actually you choose, that is one of the variable, and now that is all that our numbers, right? So that is, I have already get all that our array value and take the things with this variable as a numbers, and now into this numbers area I want to call as a reduce method. That is a reduce. You can see that is a reduce method. I call that reduce method, then we have to simply declare on the callback function, and here first of all there is a parameter. Into this parameter area here we have to pass that our sum. Okay, so I simply initialize let our sum, and then I take that our number. Okay, I take that this number. So in particular that area here, now that will be return, our which one, that means the same condition with the sum, that will be add our number, right? That is the same condition, I simply returned it in here. Okay friend, and now there is another work as initialize value. Before I make it with this variable as a sum, and then I take it as a 0. So now I want to do if you want to pass this initialize value in here, then after this, okay, after this here we have to pass that our initialize value. So I simply pass that initialize value will be as a 0. So now if you want to check it, if you want to there is a console, and then the log, into the console log area. Now I want to pass our this reduce sum variable. Now let's check this out, what exactly the data it will be display. Now click as a save all, and now that should be displayed also as a 60. You can say it's now perfectly displayed as a 60. So that is the both of this way I shared that things with you. Just simply understand all that functionality. There is another method as a reduce method. Okay, with this reduce method you can add all that your array value data. I hope it's very much clear to you friend.